A civil engineer who was mobilized into the Russian army despite ill health has escaped to Germany and spoken about the chaos and brutality he saw. His regiment was told by its commander, "You came here to die." He was later arrested and tortured for trying to flee. 44-year-old Georgy from Lyubertsy near Moscow has told his story to Radio Free Europe. He was mobilized in September 2022 despite serious heart problems and was sent to a training ground where he wandered aimlessly and fired a few times from rusty automatic rifles. He had protested against being mobilized but was assured initially that he would be sent to a construction battalion where his skills as a civil engineer would be valuable. Despite this, he was sent to a frontline Russian unit fighting in Ukraine in November 2022. The feeling was that no one knows anything. Terrible chaos, no coordination, no supplies. It was as if we were transported in a time machine to 1941, when the Germans were advancing on Moscow. Complete chaos, only the form was different. Late autumn, rain, mud, muddy roads, destroyed villages, war passed over the land. He and his comrades were sent to a forest near Svatove in the Luhansk region, without raincoats or tools to chop wood for shelters. They bought supplies from local people at their own expense. The first days were like Robinson Crusoe on a desert island, surviving in the wild without anything. They didn't give us anything. We slept on the ground in the rain and snow, lit fires, and I was thinking about how to escape from there. I immediately realized that this was a one-way ticket. Judging by the attitude of the officers, the command staff, it was clear that they weren't considering us as a combat unit, as soldiers. They had simply brought a portion of cannon fodder that had to play its role and die heroically. It was clear from how they saved on supplies. Why feed them and water them if they would be killed tomorrow? In the neighboring forest, there were Chechen Akhmatovites and air defense men. And judging by the equipment, it was clear who needed to be protected and who didn't. The area was the focus of heavy fighting at the time. At one point, his regimental commander, Colonel General Alexander Zavodsky, turned up to give a motivational speech. He lined everybody up and said, "You came here to die." At least he was honest. If you want to go on holiday, 300, i.e. wounded. If you want to go for good, 200, i.e. killed, he said. That's the kind of motivational speech it was. Georgy managed to escape from the disorganized encampment and hitched a lift to Troitsky in the northern Luhansk region, near the Russian border, which was equally chaotic. There was Brownie in motion, a bunch of mobilized people. No one had anything. Everyone was spreading out to neighboring cities and villages in search of food and materials to set up their daily lives. They would arrive in the city, not have time to go to the store. They needed somewhere to spend the night. Some officers tried to help their soldiers, but not all of them. And the hospital's emergency room was turned into a flophouse. A local man helped Georgy and 3 others to travel to a point near the border, which was sealed with a barbed wire fence. While they were crossing it, a Russian helicopter spotted them and opened fire, killing 2 of the escapees. Georgy and the other survivor were captured by FSB border guards and were taken back across the border, where they were imprisoned in an army-run torture center in a basement in the Luhansk region village of Rozhipne. The site is a former Ukrainian border service facility which President Zelensky visited in November 2020. It has now been repurposed by the Russian army as a place of pain and terror. Georgy describes it as a brand new building. The basement has sandy floors. They nailed together bunks, divided the space in half. For the good ones, who could be re-educated, where I ended up, and for the bad ones, who, as I understood, were not needed. People were beaten to death there. We were taken there to clean up. There was even blood on the ceiling. You sit in a stone cell. They take you out to the toilet in the morning and evening. There is no connection with the outside world. They feed you poorly. I think so that people suffer from hunger at 8 in the morning and at noon, and you sit without food until the next day. Fighters from the 210th Separate Air Defense Battalion, while defending Kiev's sky, shot down 2 Shaheds. However, one of them exploded nearby, damaging their combat vehicle.
Сбили Черепашка сьогодні наша вихватила.
Russians adorn their tanks with pictures of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, according to Russian Telegram channels. I don't really know how to comment on that. Taiwan detained a Chinese crewed ship on suspicions of undersea cable sabotage. The Guardian. A communications cable was damaged on Tuesday off the coast of Taiwan. The Coast Guard was closely monitoring the waters around the cable and quickly moved to intercept a vessel that was in the area at the time of the breakage. It was a cargo ship named Hong Tai, sailing under the flag of Togo, but with an all-Chinese crew. It is not yet clear whether the breakage was intentional, but the Coast Guard suspects a gray zone intrusion by China. The White House stated that both sides will remain a bit unhappy after the agreement to end the war in Ukraine. I'm curious to hear what Russia will be unhappy about.
I think the president knows how to make a deal better than anyone who has ever assumed the office of the American presidency. And in order to make a deal, you have to bring both sides to the table. And typically when you make a good deal, both sides leave that table a little bit unhappy.
If Russia captures Ukraine, next target will be Poland, says head of HUR Kirilo Budanov. According to the chief intelligence officer, Russia aims to restore an empire similar to the Soviet Union, but with Warsaw Pact countries included.
Я почав з того, що Російська Федерація не бачить себе федерацією, вона бачить себе імперією. В їх розумінні імперія, до якої нинішнє керівництво Російської Федерації, як кажуть, схиляється, це зразок Радянського Союзу, але з країнами Варшавського договору. Нікуди це теж не подінеться. Якщо йде найгірший, як то кажуть, це не сценарій, просто найгірший варіант. І от сталося так, що 3 країни об'єдналися в війну. При тому, що це майже неможливо. Наступним буде Польща. Я вам прямо це кажу. І не треба цього боятися, треба усвідомлювати. Далі буде Чехія, Угорщина, Болгарія, всі підуть назад. Країни Варшавського блоку – це, як то кажуть, завдання мінімум, якщо утворюється імперія. А там же як вибір.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.